May is like a soft sigh to the end of spring. We're still enjoying the beautiful spring flowers, everything that's green, also the strawberry season. But our days are starting to get longer and warmer. But before we make the full transition into summer, let's take a moment and just enjoy a little bit more of spring and really dive deep into May and all the things May can bring us. Hello friends, and welcome to another cozy, relaxed video. Today is going to kind of be a continuation on from our morning routine cottagecore video we did a couple weeks ago, but also be a nice transition into the new summer months that we're coming into. Spring has gone by so fast, I'm kind of shocked that we're making this transition video, but I also don't want to jump directly into summer just yet. I want to enjoy May as this kind of last hurrah of spring, to enjoy all the little things that spring still has to offer, but also be a last kind of sigh and be like, okay, now I'm ready to transition into summer. So today I thought we would have kind of a wonderful day talking about ways we can continue adding slow living, relaxed, cottagecore, cozy feels into our everyday life. This is not going to be, hey, you should push all of these into one day. These are, hey, these are ways you can incorporate some small things into your everyday life, especially if you're working your 9 to 5 or your 40 hours or working just in general. Work takes a lot out of us, but it's still important to show ourselves a little love, a little care, and do some things that bring a lot of joy and happiness to our lives. Why not enjoy life while we have it and just experience the wonderful things that there is to experience and experience the wonderful things May has to offer. So I thought we would go over a few things that I love doing during the May season, and one of them is enjoying the strawberry and asparagus season. So here in Germany, strawberry huts, we have little tiny huts where local farmers and some areas around us can sell their own strawberries that they've picked. And so we like going to the huts and kind of offering our support for the local farmers and buying their strawberries. Also, their strawberries are normally so delicious and so fresh and so rosy red. They're absolutely gorgeous. And we also want to get some asparagus because I want to have asparagus for dinner, but we're having specifically white asparagus, which I had never seen before moving to Germany, but it's so good. What they end up doing, from my understanding, is when asparagus starts growing, they keep covering it with dirt so that way there's no color on it and it's completely white. But you have to remove the skin because the skin is very stringy. I'll show you later. But we're gonna go ahead and pick up some white asparagus because we're gonna have white asparagus, hollandaise sauce, and pancakes for dinner. And it's going to be delicious and I'm so excited. So this is one way I really like to enjoy May, is going to the little huts and buying fresh produce, because this is the time where all of our local farmers start selling their fresh produce and I absolutely love it. So we're gonna get ready and head to the grocery store. Oh, before we do, if you don't know who I am, my name's Melissa, and you found yourself at Melissa's Cozy Corner, where we talk about books, baking, and other cozy content. And if you haven't noticed, today is cozy content. And if you like that kind of stuff, I would highly recommend you subscribe so you can kind of hang out with us. There's a wonderful cozy crew that's part of this community, and I really loved it, and I hope you enjoy it and love it as well. There's wonderful ideas of what you can do with your everyday life, but also book recommendations, and we do a lot of baking as well because I am a hobby baker and I love eating baked goods. So make sure you subscribe if you want to kind of follow along and be part of this community. If you are subscribed, thank you. I always appreciate you guys being here and I love the support. So really thank you very much. It does help a lot. So I think we're ready. I think we're ready to go to the grocery store. As we're going to the grocery store, I'm going to walk through our fields. I've been seeing that we have fields of buttercups that are such a funny name for a flower, buttercup. But we have a big field and there's buttercups all over inside it. So I want to go check out the buttercups before they mow the lawns back there. So we're going to go ahead and do a little field trip, go to the grocery store, get some stuff for dinner as well, and then come back and have a strawberry snack because I think that sounds absolutely delightful. So let's go ahead and get ready.
Close your eyes, get some rest. chest. I know you've had a really bad day, but I'm right here, it's gonna be okay. The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray, we're gonna be okay. Calm your soul, hold my hand, don't let go. I understand. I know it hurts, it wasn't fair. It's over now, so don't despair. The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray, we're gonna be okay. The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray, we're gonna be okay.
Okay, so the weather outside for spring, as always, is very funny. So sometimes it gets really, really cold. So I'm wearing a t-shirt today because I was like, oh, it's gonna be cold. I have a skirt on, of course, as well, but the skirt's long and it warms my legs, so it works out. But it was so warm because the sun came out as I was walking to the grocery store. And everybody kept asking me if I was cold, but I was warm because I was walking. My groceries were kind of heavy. It was just a funny experience. So you're not here for that though. So I have my snack here. I love some strawberries and whipped cream. Our whipped cream is unsweetened and I kind of prefer it that way just so I can have like some really delicious little butter waffle cookies with it and not feel guilty. Not like I really would though. But the strawberries are also just very, very sweet. So it's actually like a really perfect heavenly combination of non-sweetened whipped cream with some fresh cut strawberries and these little waffle cookies. And you just eat everything together and it's just so... They're just so, so good. These strawberries are the most beautiful strawberries ever. I love how red they are. It just adds for like that extra extra springness. So I'm gonna put this down so I can actually talk to you though and not keep eating all of my snack. So the Huts didn't have any white asparagus, unfortunately, but I grabbed some at the grocery store and I bought some green asparagus from the Hut. So asparagus season here in Germany is very, very short. It's about normally like May-ish. So today is May 7th and it's going to about June-ish. So sometime in the beginning of June, they stop selling asparagus. And that's just because it's a locally farmed vegetable. It's really, really popular in this area as well. So we have a lot of asparagus. It's just the time frame to eat it is very short. So I picked up some white asparagus because I still wanted to have those pancakes tonight. And I want to show you what I'm talking about because it's absolutely delightful. And I picked up some green asparagus and I'll find something to do with it. It's not like it's crazy. And I don't know if I'm going to add this into any part of this video, but when I was trying to buy my asparagus and my strawberries, I had my little coin purse and I dropped my coin purse and the coins went everywhere and they fell in a bucket of water and they fell all over the ground. I felt so embarrassed, but hey, It's okay, everybody does it. It's not a problem. It was just really funny. And the lady was so friendly. The lady who was selling me the strawberries, she was really nice. And she wrapped up my strawberries and my asparagus in some newspaper while I was picking up all my coins. And she was just absolutely delightful. So now we're home and I want to do a couple little things for kind of like getting more into the May mood. There are a few things that I've been doing kind of personally or more online on Instagram. Like for example, there is a May watercolor challenge that I've been taking part in. I'm not really strict on myself. For example, you're supposed to paint every day. And I just don't have the time for that, especially like if I get home from work and I have to make dinner and there's other things I need to do. I just don't have the time to paint. So I normally kind of like have a day where I can paint and then I catch up with all of my paintings on that day. So I'm not very strict, but it's been a lot of fun. I've been really practicing my watercolors. I want to do my own wedding invitations with watercolor prints. So I want to practice and get more in the habit of doing it. So I thought I would take part in that a little bit. So I thought we would do a little painting today and a little bit of practice. I would love to know if you guys do any watercolors or if like what kind of art you guys do. Maybe we can do some art together. And then I've also been doing a self challenge, and I try to do it every weekend. I post like a goal I have for the week. So for example, 2 weeks ago, I said buy myself or somebody flowers. And for last week, I said take a picture of a baby animal. And this week I have make my footprint somewhere around because I saw little duck prints and they were so cute. I'm going to post a picture here because these little duck prints were the cutest. And I also saw some when we were walking to the grocery store. So it's the time of season where it's rainy and muddy, and I thought, hey, what a cute idea for going on a walk and leaving my little footprints somewhere. Not anything crazy. Like, I'm not going to destroy anything, I promise. But I thought it was just a cute idea, even if it just means stepping in a puddle and leaving my footprints as I walk away. I think that would be also really adorable. So we're going to do a little bit of painting, a little bit of craft stuff. I love doing this during the season because it's quite cool outside. And so I can either do it outside or I can open up my windows and let some fresh air in as I'm painting or as I'm doing crafty things. And I thought to enjoy a little bit of May, we can do a little May challenge. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of painting. I have an emerald that I need to paint and I'm really nervous. So let's see how that goes. So I'm not a professional emerald painter. I never will be. I'm not sure if I'll ever paint an emerald again in my life, but it was still really fun practice. And I think that's the best part about like doing some of these challenges. It just gets you out of your comfort zone and gets you painting new things. Like I have to paint a taco and I have no idea how I'm gonna paint a taco. I'm really excited to paint the taco, but I'm not sure how to paint the taco. So I probably will work on that later on today or maybe even tomorrow. But for now, I want to kind of continue on with the day and kind of talk about more of some random things that we can do during the May season and transferring into June. So we talked a little bit about the strawberry huts, and I know at least in Washington there are some strawberry farms where you can go pick your own strawberries. That's something we've been doing here as well in Germany. We did it last year and I thought it was one of the most wonderful things to do. It was so refreshing and just fun. We picked loads of strawberries. We paid for them, of course, because it's the idea. You pick your own strawberries, you pay for them, and you get to go eat all the strawberries you want to. They're cheaper than if you would buy at the grocery store because you're picking them yourself, but it's also just a really, really fun activity. I had so much fun, and it was just so cool seeing all the kids running around. I'm a kid at heart, so I was enjoying it very much so, and it was just one of those things that I was just so happy to do. It was not a bucket list activity, but it was one of those activities where I thought, what a great way to enjoy a little bit of the outdoors, do something like productive, but also get something out of it, like all of those strawberries. So I really loved it and I highly recommend doing it. It's the perfect season to do it because strawberries are normally in season in the May to June time. So if you maybe look around and see if there's any strawberry fields that you can go to and pick your own strawberries, or maybe there's some blueberry fields or some other berry fields. I think it's always fun to go pick your own berries, except for blackberries. I love a blackberry pie. I love picking blackberries, but blackberry bushes, those are monsters. I always picked blackberries as a kid, and I remember having scratches all over my hand, but I still do it. But blackberries are hard. So if you get the chance to go like berry picking, I highly recommend it. A lot of places you can't go berry picking, unfortunately. Like if you live in a city, you may not have any fields around you to be able to go do that, but maybe you can go to the garden center. And I love going to the garden center where we live. I love going there and picking up new plants or just looking at the plants. Honestly, there have been multiple times where we've gone to the garden center just to walk through all the plants because I'm doing really great on my outdoor plants, but I'm still learning how to do indoor plants. My monstera is beautiful. I'll always point her out because she has been doing so well. But I'm still trying to learn how to do other indoor plants. And I sometimes just like walking through there and looking at how beautiful everything is and how green and luscious. That's another thing about spring is everything turns green. And I have been loving the greenery that's everywhere. I have some new leaves on my lemon and kumquat tree, and it's just so fun to see. We have our tomato plants also coming in soon. It makes it sound like we're having them delivered. My partner's father goes ahead and plants seeds every year in like early spring, and he grows them in his home, and then he gives us some of his starters so that way we can have our own tomato plants. So they're not being delivered, they're just gifted to us. So we're going to be getting our tomato plants soon, which I'm really excited about. So this is like the green season. Everything green, everything beautiful, everything new and lively. So going to the garden center just to kind of be around that life and around those beautiful little plants is always good. And with that, some of us who work in the office, like myself, I have no plants. I have no greenery. My offices are very, very white and very sad looking. I'm not ashamed to say it. They're just a very white rooms, and we don't have any like seats that are ours. We do free seating. So you come into the office and you sit wherever there's a free seat. And so I've been thinking that I need to bring a little bit more life to my office. So that way I feel happiness in the sense, not that I don't feel happiness at my job, but just so that way there's a little bit of life also in my office. So I did something. I picked up my plant that we'll call Joey. So I thought it'd be so wonderful to bring a little bit of greenery into my office, just on my desk while I'm working. And so I thought, why not just get a little tiny plant that I can carry around? These are succulents, so they're gonna be really, really easy to take care of. I'm pressing my thumbs or crossing my fingers, whichever way you wanna say it. And I'm gonna go ahead and take little Joey into the office, and Joey's going to be my best friend on my desk. The days I'm not in the office, he'll be hanging out on our windowsill. Not on our windowsill because succulents don't need direct light, but like on a table nearby. But I thought it would be just lovely to bring a little Joey into my life. So Joey's going to be joining me in the office, and I think that's a really big subject, is how do we bring a little bit of life and a little bit of more of that cottagecore coziness, relaxed, slow living lifestyle. I'm using all three words because I think it's important to like specify that cottagecore is also slow living, which is also cozy. They're all three the same. Maybe someday I'll come up with a word. Maybe someday you'll come up with a word that I could just use one word and then it'll be encompassing. But so I've been trying to think of ways to bring a little bit more slowness into the office because I do spend 3 days out of the week there. So I am lucky. I do have 2 days at home for home office, but 3 days I am in the office. And just because I'm in the office in those 3 days, I don't want to change my slow living kind of feeling, and I want to make sure I'm still enjoying and taking the time to take time for myself. And I think sometimes when we're at the office, it can be really, really difficult because there's people everywhere, at least in my office. The kitchens are full, the canteen is full, our hallways are full, the offices are full, so it's really hard to kind of find a moment for ourselves. And for me, personally, I really need that few moments to just take a breath, take a break. And so I've been trying to think of some really great ways to take those breaks. And for me, I thought bringing Joey in the office where I can kind of just look at Joey and be like, and take a deep breath and just be in a moment of just green and peace. And I think that's really important to find. I think it's important to find those moments of peace and relaxation, even if it's just for 30 seconds, taking a deep breath and coming down, especially if you have a lot of meetings or a lot of talks with different people, or maybe you have a stressful day. It's important just to remember it's okay, it's all right, and we're going to continue forward. And I think for me, especially when I'm in the office, I have a lot of conversations with not just my colleagues, but I have a lot of conversations with different people as well. I need to make sure I take a step back and take a moment for myself. And so I do actually do my lunch breaks and also my like little coffee breaks sometimes alone. I know that sounds really sad, but it's actually really important for me because I need a moment to step away and just kind of take a deep breath. So during lunchtime, I normally grab my book or my music and I go into our lunchroom or our kitchen area. Just take 15 minutes to take a couple breaths, kind of come down from a busy morning and eat my lunch in a little bit of quiet. Of course, there's always going to be noise, but a little bit of quiet and enjoy my book or some music or just a stupid video on my phone. I try not to do too much on my phone because I'm trying to step away from all the noise. And of course, on our phone with videos and messages and everything like that, it's a lot of external noise. So if you can grab a book, or maybe you can just look outside and enjoy the outdoors for a little bit, it's always really helpful. So those are some ways that I'm trying to take back some of my time when I'm working at the office. I know it sounds really difficult. I know it can be really difficult also on a sales floor. I've worked on a sales floor, but I know sometimes you have a break room and you can go into the break room and just take 30 seconds for yourself. Of course, tell your boss before you leave the floor. But it's just important to remind yourself that you are important, you deserve care, you deserve time for yourself, and finding ways to incorporate self-love and coziness and that slow living is really important. And if you didn't watch my video from 2 weeks ago where we were doing morning routine cottagecore kind of feels, I really focus on the normal person's life. So for me, I have to go to work in the morning, so I try to do a few minutes in the morning of something that I love and enjoy. So if that's reading, if that's painting, if that's writing, I just do 5 to 15 minutes of something that I really love and enjoy so I can come into the day kind of ready and feeling good. And if you want to watch that video, I'll put it in the description below. No pressure, but it's a way to kind of remind yourself to love yourself and take time for yourself. And these are really important things to do during the workday as well, especially if we're gone at work in an office or on the sales floor or anywhere else. Just taking a moment for yourself and enjoying the little things that you love for yourself. So if you have other recommendations actually on how to bring cottagecore coziness to your workplace, I would love to hear these. I think they'd be really helpful for everybody else as well. I know for me, when I was watching a lot of cottagecore content and cozy content and slow living content, I was trying to figure out, okay, I can do these at home, but how can I bring them into my work life without disrupting it too much? And I think one of the ways is Joey's going to join me, And I think Joey from Friends all the time, and that's one of the reasons why I named him Joey, because Joey is one of my favorite characters from Friends. He's so funny and charismatic and just wonderful. And I thought Joey can join me. I've been really enjoying my lunch breaks on my own, or like a little coffee break on my own. Even if it's just like 5 minutes, I'll go get a fresh cup of coffee or a fresh cup of tea and just stand in the coffee room or our kitchen for a few moments and just take a deep breath. It's really important for those deep breaths because it's just kind of coming into the moment, and I really love those. Meditations have helped me a ton, but I don't have always time to do a full meditation, so the deep breaths are just a really nice reminder of just being in the moment and taking a breath and kind of saying, it's okay. So my lunch breaks, my breaks, my little coffee breaks, Joey, and then if you have any other ideas, I would love to hear them. I think, like I said, a lot of other people would really enjoy them. A lot of us who are working in the office or working anywhere else, it's hard to bring in that cozy cottagecore kind of feel. So any recommendations? And maybe I'll do a full video on like how to bring that kind of feel and living style to an office atmosphere or a work atmosphere. If you guys are interested in that, let me know, and maybe I'll come up with some more ideas, and maybe I'll come up with your ideas and bring your ideas into the video as well, and we can have a really wonderful kind of collection of how to bring cottagecore feels into our everyday working life. So yes, that was a lot. I'm so sorry, but I was just kind of brainstorming with you just now, so I think it's lovely. However, we'll go ahead and move on. One of the things I wanted to talk about today, it's not necessarily connected to the May to June transition, but it is definitely trying to find ways to enjoy May. And I think during this season it can get quite busy because we're starting to hang out with more friends, we're starting to go outside more, we're feeling like, hey, maybe we shouldn't stay inside all day. I have to tell myself that every day, and I think it's really important to find ways to incorporate maybe the things we were really loving in the wintertime, like for me it was reading, and how to incorporate those into my busy spring, summer days. And I really, really love reading, like I just said, and I have realized there is a wonderful thing out there that most of us know of, but is normally considered very nerdy. And I don't want to consider it nerdy because I don't think it's nerdy, but picking up a comic book or a graphic novel, I've been reading more graphic novels lately and I've been loving it. The stories are beautiful. I really love the different art styles there are. And I really wanted to talk about one specifically today because I was sent it from Black Panel Press. It's an indie graphic novel publisher over in Canada. I guess if I was still living in Seattle, it'd be up in Canada. But over in Canada, and they are a wonderful indie graphic novel publishing company. They do a lot of graphic novels from all over the world, so they end up looking at graphic novels written from some people in Norway, some people in Germany, some people in the UK, and the US, everywhere. So I think that's really, really amazing. But they ended up sending me a graphic novel named Disconnected. Let me go get it. So first I want to show the site real quick. So this is Black Panel Press, and as I mentioned, they're a wonderful indie graphic novel publisher, and their founder, Andrew, I'm not going to be able to pronounce his last name, is really kind of going out of the way to kind of make sure some of these smaller graphic novel artists and authors are getting known. And really, they publish some really amazing stuff. I've really gotten into graphic novels over the last year because I find it really fun to kind of just sit down and cozy up on the sofa, especially late at night when I've had a really long day and I would like to read something, but I don't have the mind to read a book. I love to pick up a graphic novel, especially if I'm kind of more into an artsy mood. I love a beautiful graphic novel, and I think Black Panel Press has been doing really amazing stuff, and I have been wanting to shout them out because I've been wanting to show them a little support. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't send me stuff to kind of forcefully recommend to you. I just ended up reading one that I really, really did love. It's called Disconnected, like I had mentioned, by Magnus Merklin. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love the art style. I love kind of like this punk kind of feel of it. And the story ends up dealing with grief and friendship and love. And I think it was super powerful because for me, I grew up listening to music a lot when I was a kid, like most people, but I went into band, and band was my whole life for I think like 11 years. And I have to say, like, band was a really, really big part of my life, and it brought me to who I am today, and I made my friends that way, and I was able to experience so many amazing things through being in our school band. And so when I picked up this graphic novel and it was about music, I thought, wow, that's really interesting. And then when I was reading it, I just felt, wow, I feel so connected with this. So I really did feel driven, I guess, to want to show you this because I want to shout out one, Black Panel Press, the publishing company. I'm going to keep mentioning their name so it sticks in your brain. But I also wanted to share this graphic novel because I thought it was so, so well done. And so we have three friends, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you because I want you to read it, but we have three friends and they are in a little band, and they've been in a little band together, so not like a school band, like a little garage rock band, and they have been making music together since they were younger, but recently one of the bandmates passed away, and two of the friends are coming together and trying to kind of reconnect and connect over music as well, and it was really, really moving. But one of the things I really loved about this art style was how they represented music. And so we have, I'm trying not to drop my surface, we have the drummer who ends up having these circles to represent the sound of drums. We have the keyboard artist who ends up having these squares to represent the sound. And then we have the guitarist, which has the triangles that represents the sound. So the fact that we have these three kind of colors and also shapes represents what the music is going to be. And I thought that was so amazingly done because they didn't even just have like little music notes, but they created something that actually made it feel like you were listening to music. So we have, I'm just going to show a couple pages, but we have like the drummer making their beat and then they're starting to play, right? Whoop. And then we have them each coming in, and then we have this beautiful page of just all of the music. And I felt like you could actually hear the music, and that was so amazingly done. I was gobsmacked. I was shocked with how well the artist did this. And they end up showing it throughout the different scenes and throughout the different shots and clips, I guess. I don't really know what they're called. The little squares of story. If you know the name of that, you can let me know, because off the top of my head, I cannot come up with it. But throughout the story, we know who's playing music based on the shape, and we know how they're feeling based on the shapes, or I guess not based on the shapes, but how they're maybe using their facial expressions and how these shapes are kind of random. And it's just really absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my favorite graphic novels now. I know that's crazy to say, but I read this, I cried, and I felt just so moved and shocked, and I really did love it. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because I think this author and this publishing company definitely deserves a shout out. They are doing really, truly amazing things. And the fact that they're doing smaller graphic novel artists and authors is just truly just powerful. And so Disconnected by Magnus Merklin, I highly, highly recommend it. I believe it's out now. If it's not, I'm going to put the release date on the screen right here. But this is just absolutely wonderful, gorgeous. And if you have not read graphic novels, or if you've always felt like graphic novels are nerdy, they're not. They're artistic, beautiful pieces of art with pictures and words. So I mean, just combine Imagine like you had one of your favorite books and you had pictures along with it. It's all it is. It's just super beautiful and wonderful, and the stories are so wonderful. I would really love to actually in the future do a collection of graphic novels that I highly recommend. Maybe if you're interested in that video, just let me know and I'll kind of put that on my docket of videos to make. But I have so many graphic novels I really enjoy and I really loved, and they're really perfect for spring and this like to May to June transition, because we have, like I mentioned, you're busy and you have things going on and you may not have as much time, but a graphic novel doesn't take very much time to read, and it's just kind of enjoying something small for just a moment, especially since you don't have to read it all in one sitting. They're fun to do that, but you can also read it in chunks and pieces as well. There's some graphic novels that I have that are way too big to do that, so I'm definitely not doing that, but highly recommend it. I'm going to keep recommend Disconnected. I'm going to also put it in the description below, and I'll also put Black Panel Press's website down there as well so you can check them out. I highly recommend like looking at some of the graphic novels they have. They do have more adult leaning graphic novels, so just keep that in mind, but they're all still very beautiful and wonderful, and they do a lot of work to make sure they're showing a lot of love and support for small indie authors. So that's my little spiel on graphic novels. But I'm just saying, they're perfect for this time of season if you don't have time to read a full book, but you want to get back into reading or you want to continue reading. Graphic novels are perfect for that. So I am done with my little spiel. I want to go ahead and make some dinner. It's getting later, 5:30, 6 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and start making our asparagus with pancakes and hollandaise sauce. I'm not making hollandaise sauce from scratch. We ended up buying a box of it. Because it's a fast dinner, we're not wanting to spend too much time on it, and this is an idea of something to do during the workday as well. Maybe we can come up with some wonderful workday meals for lunches and for after work, for dinner. That's what after work meals are. So maybe that's another future idea for you to do. We have some really great brainstorming going on, but if you have any other ideas, I would love to hear them. So make sure you put those in the comments below if you want to hear anything else, see anything else. I love hearing your guys' recommendations for what you would like to see. Which reminds me, I'm a lot of the time post on my community page, like what would you guys like to see in the next video. So make sure you guys check out the community page and vote for what you guys want to see. That's why Cozy Video got voted for and is made, because that's what you guys wanted to see. And I think it's always fun to kind of get your guys' input as well. So make sure you follow the community tab so you can go ahead and vote for what you would like to see the next video coming up. But for now, we're going to go ahead and make dinner. I did want to stop here though and just say thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for being part of this wonderful adventure. I do hope you got some ideas of like what to do during this May to June transition. I know this video felt all over the place, at least it did for me, but really it was small little things to incorporate in your day to enjoy the small things. Yeah, so for example, taking time to do something artistic or something creative just for yourself. For me, I've been trying to do a painting activity, but I don't have time to do it every day, so it's okay if it doesn't happen. Or picking up maybe a graphic novel to see if you, one, find something beautiful and wonderful to read, but also kind of still ingesting something really wonderful and creative. Or going outside to enjoy a little bit of fresh air, like some greenery, but also going to the plant store if you don't have the chance to, just to kind of really embrace that end of spring green. I really love that part of the season. It's definitely when we saw everything come to life. And so there are multiple different things you can do to enjoy kind of that May to June transition before we hit summer season. And I really want to encourage you to enjoy everything that's left of spring, because this is a beautiful season. It's full of life and full of activity and beauty and wonderfulness, and you deserve all of that. So I would love to hear also your ideas of how you would like to bring some more cozy stuff, cottage living, into the work life. I think that's a great thing we can talk about in the future. And yeah, just thank you so much for everything, for your support. And if you're not subscribed, I highly recommend it. It really does help me out. And I know I feel so weird and odd asking you to do that, but it does really help me out. And I would love to make this community bigger and make the cottage cozy, slow life just kind of part of everyday life. So part of everyday life for normal life people. So let me go ahead and say goodbye to you now. We're not done yet because we're gonna still make dinner, and I'm really excited too because it's gonna be delicious and you're going to really wanna make this yourself. So let's pop into the kitchen and start cutting some asparagus.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
If there's one thing I can highly recommend from this video, and if there's one thing you'll take away, it's take things slow. Remember to give yourself love and kindness, and to do things that you enjoy. To do things that bring happiness and excitement to your everyday, even if it's just something so small, like drinking a nice little soda pop or iced tea, or trying something tasty and delightful. We only have so much time in this world, and we should enjoy the small things. So buy yourself a cute little plant, name it Joey, or pick up a new watercoloring pencil or paintbrush to try out some new art, or maybe just a graphic novel to explore May in a different way.